Hello, my name is Shane and you're watching The Lever Monkey. So today we're looking for the center of a manhole that we can't see. We can use hand signals and some marking on the ground. As you can see here, there's a center line mark that I'm using to start my dig. So the center line mark will help you out quite a bit, but it's going to keep you not dead on center because you're going to wander as you dig a little bit left and right. When we get a little bit deeper and closer to the manhole, we'll get some hand signals from our top man. So if you notice, I'm going to dig this a little bit different than I do my normal V-ditch or open cut style, where I start on the outside edges establishing my width of trench. And that's done when I already know where my center is. Here, I'm looking to find my center around about when I get down to the bottom. So that way, this first set will establish the tops of my trench and the center line of the trench. So that way, one side's not more out than the other side. So here, I'm just going to whittle my way down the center mark that I had and wait for hand signals from my top man when I get close enough. So here you can see Andy has moved in line with the manhole and is starting to give me hand signals. Well, actually he's trying to get my attention, which I'm going to yell at him. I see him.
I see you!
And we're just going to get back down to business, and he's going to give me some small cues, get me on my center line, and I'll continue digging until we get down to the 2-foot or 30-inch bucket, in this case, for our center line ditch. So here Andy has actually called over my ground man that's going to be taking care of all the grade setting and stuff like that. And he's learning, so Andy's going to talk to him for a minute and explain what he just did and what he should have been doing. So at this point, I think I'm pretty close to my 4-foot, and I'm just trying to carry that grade further along, and then I'm going to swap over to my small bucket. So here, I've swapped to my 30-inch bucket. Andy has moved down to the bottom of the bowl. My ground man is grabbing a paint can from my rig, and I start digging, and Andy's going to spot me and fine-tune my center line. at this point, I see my ground man starting to shovel out the front, so I'm not going to reach back in there and reach in to grab material unless he's looking at me and make sure I'm not getting into an area where he's working and might cause a problem, where I might cave something off again. I'm waiting for a hand signal so I know he's watching and go in for the bite. And again, I've cleaned up my area up on top, and now I'm waiting for my laborer to give me some hand signals to come in. At this point in the dig, we really want to be careful about how we go about doing this. We don't want to take too much material. We're just skimming it, and you don't want to take too much out of the back. If you know what your slope is, you can kind of guess what the slope is. So on this run, we're at 2.5%, well, 2.49, close enough to 2.5. So I definitely don't want to take too much out of the back. I'll wait for my ground guy to grab his rod and tell me where I need to take material out. So here I've gotten a signal to clean up the bottom of the hole, give it a nice flat bottom, get rid of the crumbs, so that way he can get a good check and a good read on what our grade is. So there I could hear the beeper beeping and know that we were close to grade, so we're just going to clean this up and then we'll go to check the whole trench.
Hey! If it's bad, you step back.
Now this first set coming out of the manhole is most important in my opinion, because we want to be on grade, because this is going to establish how the rest of your trench is going to proceed, as in holding that grade. Because typically you're going to want to project what you already have in your previous set. So if you start off with a on grade set, you're going to more than likely carry that grade through the next set. So here, Andy is yelling at the laborer to check my vertical, make sure we're right at 4 feet, and we are dead nuts right on it and good to go. So from here on out, I'm going to do a time lapse of a couple of sets, and then that'll be the end of the video. Thanks for hanging out and watching, guys.
Don't get slow down. You guys show me where the brake is. If it's fast, just take a step back. Check again. Take a step back. Take it there. That's great.